Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Langland Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by again today for the second time, hopefully. All right, this morning I did a real brief intro, exciting video all about the Supreme Court taking up a Second Amendment case. Now, this is a major gun control case that they're taking up. Now, they're not going to actually hear the case until October or November of this year, but the fact that they take it up is significant, and it's a victory in itself. I'm going to walk through in this video how this action is terrifying the left and is amazing, potentially, for Second Amendment advocates. This is a really big deal, guys, and as long as we celebrate where the victories are and embrace the fight where it is, we are going to be in a great place. The content we're going to talk about today, it's all going to be in the description box below for your review if you want to check it out. Make sure I'm not leading you astray, but it's always there. I got the receipts. It's amazing. And I just want to thank you guys for showing up. You guys are driving with us to 300,000 subs. We're almost there on YouTube. The newsletter that is in the description box below helps us stay in contact so we can drive this movement forward in the gun world, because I kind of view this as a movement, and we're doing amazing things together, so keep it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, and that is how we're going to start this intro. Okay, so the specific part about this video title that I put in here about the left being terrified, there's a lot of reasons that this has massive overreaching implications. I touched on it in this morning's video, but I'm going to add detail to it now, okay? And the number one thing, before I go further into the details of the video, I want you guys to know you're not alone. You're not. I know it feels like that sometimes, but there are over 80 million people who voted in a similar fashion to you, the way you did, and all of them hold the same values on the Second Amendment with a majority. You're not alone, it just feels like that. Leave a comment in the field below if you need some love, because we're here for you. So, now let's dive into this gun control case. First of all, let's go through the background and what this actually is leading up to this, because that's important as well. A Second Amendment case has not been heard on the Supreme Court level since 2008. Interestingly enough, also in New York, because this case that they just decided to hear, this was this morning, it's also in New York. Now, what's important is in 2008, they came out with a case that New York basically said you don't have the right to have a Second Amendment support in your home. The Supreme Court came out and said, check yourself before you wreck yourself, and New York was like, okay, sorry. Now they've moved it into the public domain, and this case builds on that. So it's closely tied, because the Supreme Court went against New York in that 2008 case. Now that's important, and this is a really good video to show, because it kind of walks you through it the best I can what this means for us and the implications nationwide. So the first quote I'm going to give to you is from yahoo.com. It's from the news section. It states, the Supreme Court in a landmark 2008 ruling recognized for the first time an individual's right to keep guns at home for self-defense, and in 2010 applied that right to the states, so it went across the states. The plaintiffs in the New York case asked for that right to be extended beyond the home. So it's the same principle, except it's out in public to defend yourself and bear arms yourself. That's the idea. Now, check this out. This is a really good clip for reference. This is from CNN. One of the anchors sets it up. It's a short clip, then we're going to analyze it, all right?
Are they taking up? What are they looking at?
Yeah, Kate, this is a case out of New York, and it involves New York's law that strictly limits who can carry guns in public. It requires anyone applying for a license to carry those concealed weapons in public to actually show what they call an actual or articulable need to carry the guns. And in fact, several other states actually have similar laws here.
She just hit on something really important we're going to touch in 1 second. She basically laid it out, and the important thing here, and this is where the lawsuit originated from. New York puts undue circumstances on anybody who wants to get a concealed carry, and they basically say you have to prove that there's a threat to your life beyond crime rates, beyond local crime rates, break-ins, robberies. You have to physically prove it. And then they use that to say, no, it's not really a threat, and then they say no concealed carry. They do this in all liberal states. Chicago, the District of Columbia, they do it. It's not a state, I know, it's a district. They do it in New York, they do it in California. They use the system, the laws they put in place to infringe upon the Second Amendment rights, which in my opinion is gun control, okay? It's de facto backdoor gun control, and that's where they got caught on this. Now, the interesting thing about this clip, did you catch what happened at the end? The end was really, really important, because even they referenced this exists in multiple states. Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to it. All right. So the next article I'm going to reference is from USA News. Okay. A ruling invalidating New York's law, which is this lawsuit, could imperil similar laws on the books in other states setting various criteria for a concealed carry license. 7 other states and the District of Columbia impose restrictions that give authorities more discretion to deny concealed firearm permits. Basically infringe upon the rights because they can't ban guns, but they can make it harder for you to have a concealed carry. That's the idea. This is where it gets really, really, really important, because this decision on this Supreme Court case overarches everything in the United States. So every one of these 7 liberal cities, because that's where they put these things in place, where they just dominate the political landscape. So they try out these things, and if we get a victory in New York on this, and they say, no, you have the right to conceal carry, that factors down to every other state that's doing it. Oregon, California, District of Columbia, New York, Chicago, all of these cities that are far left bastions are going to be dealt a blow because they already have existing gun laws that are exactly like New York's, and they're going to have to rewrite them, and they're going to be ruled unconstitutional should the Supreme Court, which is stacked 6-3 conservative advantage, go with the Second Amendment as it's written. It looks that way. I cannot tell you what's going to happen, but it looks in that direction. And that's why this is so important, because it's not just about New York. This is a gun rights win. If we can get this through the Supreme Court, every other state is going to have to withdraw those statutes and start issuing concealed carry permits across the board. And that's a big deal, guys. That's why this system takes so long. But for the fact that the Supreme Court picked it up, that's huge. For you guys who are not aware how that system works, it has to go up through the entire court system. The state appeals court said, no, you don't have the right to conceal carry in the state. That's not a thing. The Supreme Court was petitioned, and then they chose to hear the case. Now, when they choose to hear cases, that means they may have a discerning argument different than the lower court. That's a big deal, because most of the cases that are petitioned to the Supreme Court don't even get picked up. Most of them are ignored and say, no, we're going to send it back to the lower court. This is a big deal. It's a win in of itself that we even got in that door. Big deal, guys. So celebrate where their celebrations are due. Now, on to the actual left, why they're freaking out. I can tell you this unravels a significant portion of their gun control push that they've done for the last 10 to 15 years. This is massive. Watch the body language on the CNN anchor as the other interviewee, the other CNN employee, walks through what this means. Watch this body language, because you know we're all about it on this channel. Watch this.
And of course, all eyes will be on the newest justice, Amy Coney Barrett. She wrote an extensive opinion when she was on the 7th Circuit that seemed to favor this expansive view of the Second Amendment. So the last big decision we saw from the court was 2008, and that was where the late Justice Antonin Scalia, All
right, did you catch that? So she's holding her face completely stoic. If you guys want to back this video, you know what? Don't back it up. I'm gonna do it again. Watch her face, watch her eyebrows and her eyes when the woman in pink mentions Amy Coney Barrett. Watch this.
And of course, all eyes will be on the newest justice, Amy Coney Barrett. She wrote.
Did you catch that?
Will be on the newest justice.
She nodded, raised her eyebrows, and kind of exhaled. That was not something she liked. And then the rest of the clip, she was extremely stoic. These people know the implications of this. Now, this is where it gets really fun for me, because New York has a choice. They can either spend the next 10 months or 5-6 months until this gets heard in the Supreme Court, repealing that law and changing it up so it's no longer an issue, or they have to send it through the Supreme Court, and if this does not work the way they want it to and they get ruled against and it's for the plaintiff, this is going to send reverberations across all gun control circles, not just the gun control circles in New York. So they're a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they repeal it, their constituents are going to be pissed. And if they fight the battle and lose, then nationwide gun control is going to be dealt a significant blow. And right here, we will have a special video on that day. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.